the history of Oettinger Davidoff and the heritage of the brand, it all started in 1875, and we're a family-owned company still with Swiss heritage we're very proud of, and the brand has been pioneering since new ways to craft cigars, to blend cigars, and to basically deliver against expectations and needs of consumers to really delight them, and obviously also with a strong focus on our customers that are as important as consumers to us. Yeah, 25 years is the number of years since we are in travel retail, and travel retail is very important to us. I would clearly say it's more than a channel. It has an own ecosystem, it has a very own dynamic, and it is clearly also the area of business where you see stronger growth than typically on average in domestic markets. There's a lot going on there. So product launches is obviously a very important part of the key business drivers we're focusing on. And when I talk about Oettinger Davidoff and as a family company, the pioneering and innovation in any kind of area is obviously a big part of that. We're celebrating our 50 years anniversary of the Davidoff brand with a white ring this year. So it's a very special year for us. And we're just launching 5 iconic cigars that have been milestones over the last 50 years since 1968. And they come with a commemorative white ring. I can show what one format looks like. So we have this golden ring basically to celebrate the 50 years anniversary and to thank actually those who have been loyal to us, but also to welcome many new consumers that have come to our brands over the last 5-6 years, specifically through the discovery pillar. I would say regarding assortment for travel retail, because you asked about that as well, that is something we definitely believe is very important to differentiate what you can buy and acquire in travel retail specifically. So by the end of the year you can expect to see a first range coming out that is travel retail exclusive under Davidoff. So overall, when I look at travel retail specifically, the aim is to get to a 20% of total business, and we're currently around 13-14. So clearly there is big potential to further grow in the travel retail channel or domain. In terms of priorities, strategic priorities, clearly Asia plays an absolutely dominant role, driven by, in the first place, by the Chinese consumers that are evolving. I mean, they're a developing market in the sense of discovering cigars. There is no long-standing cigar culture. So this is coming through and in the first place to the benefit of Asian travel retail, because they go very much to Japan, to Taiwan, to Vietnam. They play a major role. So it's more about a consumer traveler versus a region and then where they go. And obviously the Chinese traveler is also influencing positively growth in other regions like Middle East, like Europe. Now Europe is basically our stronghold, so I would say from a geography standpoint this is more a very matured market, very stable at very high level. So Asia and Middle East are clear focuses. The number one key business driver that we define is staff in store to be very well informed about product, brands, history, but also being very good at connecting with different types of shoppers that come in. It's definitely not a hard selling job. It's about trying to understand what they're open to, what type of consultation they like to have, and then apply that very effectively. And that remains key, whether we're in darker markets, as we call them, like France, or we're in lighter markets like Switzerland. So specifically travel retail for us, I mean, I think we're going to continue to see growth. There is passenger increases on average 5% plus until 25 that are predicted. That might not translate one-to-one into the sales and the shopping of every category. But we clearly see continued growth. I mean, one is going to come from further openings. Alone this year, we're opening a number of new stores and shops within travel retail, within airports. So there is Geneva that's going to open in October with the tender that Lagardère has won. Then we have in Asia 4 new openings, including Guangzhou, which is going to happen in Q4, including 2 new walk-in humidors in Hong Kong at International Airport. But then also Istanbul with Heinemann is going to be a very important one. So I think this is going to continue to drive growth. And travel retail always has a very strategic and image building function aside the commercial one, which is very important to bring people into a situation where they can discover and get inspired by the category. For example, by seeing what does the barrel look like in which the Winston Churchill late hour was actually aged. And these are things and pictures that people remember. And we're going to do more and more of that, using also new technologies as appropriate, whether that's virtual reality. It has to conceptually fit to the message and the experience we want to get across versus just using technology because we can.